Yeah, so I'm admin staff for HFS in Edgbaston. So I filled out a pretend form, essentially. The page before this, which I can't go back to without deleting the application, but it is basically a script to read out to people who are wanting to apply, telling them about GDPR and asking whether or not they're on universal credit or any means tested benefits. So then you come to this page, which is the first page of the portal. So it's all personal information in this first part, and their address, which is an important part. So you'd have to put in the postcode first, and that's why it flags if the postcode has been used or not. I put in the Cobden Hotel postcode. We get a lot of applicants from there. And this is an example of a shared accommodation as well. So obviously a lot of people live in the Cobden Hotel, and each of them are eligible for the fund. So in this notes section, we've been advised to write down their hotel room number and that they're living in a hotel. And this would be the same if someone was living in the shared accommodation. It'll be they're living in shared accommodation, room number, whatever number it is. And then that should make sure that it's not flagged when the application is processed by BVSC. So then there's the next page, which is when you just specify what they're receiving and benefits wise, and if they have no recourse to public funds. And then you also have to make sure that they're consenting to processing the application. And all of these must be checked off to then submit the application at the end. This is obviously the banking information. So I've put in the details for a cash payment, which will be all zeros. And it comes up with direct payment here, which means cash payment. But this, when you enter a sort code, it should come up with the name of the bank.
Do you want to enter mine?
Yeah.
422224.
Yeah, so as you can see here, it comes up with HSBC Bank. What we've been doing is double checking, asking them the name of their bank and double checking it with what appears on the portal for, I guess, fraud reasons. And then it also comes up with the name that should be on the bank. So the name of the applicant should also should be their bank account. However, there's obviously reasons that that won't be. So say if it's not the name of the person who's applying, you can write in here why it isn't. So it would be something like they don't have a bank account and their universal credit goes into their partner's or their sister's bank account, and that's the account that they're using. Yeah, so it'd be something along those lines, but again, specify it here to make sure that the application isn't flagged and denied, essentially. And yeah, again, another consent checkbox that you have to tick off. Then there's another page of personal information, so ethnicity, disabilities, and also other boxes to write in details, which is all pretty straightforward and just essentially just asking them the questions and they should be able to answer you. And another consent checkbox. This would probably be the most important page, which is where you have to basically ask them how they're going to spend the money that they receive. So you type in different numbers down the side of the page here, and it totals it on this side. So say if I were to add another £150 to food, then it was you've exceeded the allowance. You can't then proceed with the application. So you can only put in £200. And then yeah, at the bottom, why they're wanting the money. So I've just a little reason, like they've recently lost their job and they need help paying bills. So the reasons vary, but it's usually along the lines of that they're struggling with bills and food and essential things.
And I think that that can be kept really brief. I mean,
Yeah.
Louise has just done a sentence there. That's perfectly adequate. You don't need to go into a huge amount of detail, but there does need to be some justification in that box. And I think Louise's point as well about using these boxes that you're given to clarify is really helpful advice, because we're still in the early days of this. I think we've been processing applications for 7 or 8 days now, and we have had quite a high number of applications being flagged. And what happens then is the person that's made the application gets effectively a sort of a response from the portal saying that these applications have been flagged, and you will see on your system there's a space for flagged applications, and you really need to go back into those and look at what the problem is. It does give you a brief idea of what the problem is, and it's pretty much always that there's been some, well, I think with everything we've had, it's been that there's been this issue about duplication, and it's come up as potentially a duplicate application. So I think the issue of housing and duplicate addresses is going to be quite big. So yeah, do just bear in mind if they're in sheltered accommodation, shared hostels, even if maybe they're at, I think we've even had issues with like 22B and 22A. So it's worthwhile putting something in that box just to show that maybe they somehow, that address is potentially a shared address. And I think that's it.
Yeah, that is the last page, and then you just click submit and you get a reference number, and that's everything.